This system did not fail because it was slow or outdated. It failed because it was optimized for a world that no longer existed. At its peak, it worked perfectly. Every incentive, every process, every decision reinforced its success. This video is not about Blockbuster. It's about how successful systems lose the ability to adapt. For more than a decade, Blockbuster defined how people experienced movies at home. At its peak, the company operated thousands of stores across the world, employed tens of thousands of people, and generated billions in annual revenue. For many households, renting a movie meant going to Blockbuster. The brand was not simply present in the market, it was the market's infrastructure. This dominance was not the result of chance or weak competition. It was the result of a system carefully optimized for a specific reality. A world in which movies were physical objects, distribution was scarce, and access was constrained by geography. In that environment, Blockbuster worked extraordinarily well. Systems rarely collapse when they stop functioning. They collapse when they continue functioning after the world they were built for has changed. Blockbuster's rise rested on a tightly integrated structure. Its stores formed a dense geographic network that turned proximity into power. A nearby location effectively functioned as a local monopoly, not because alternatives did not exist, but because convenience outweighed them. Saturation mattered more than differentiation, and Blockbuster expanded aggressively to ensure it occupied that space first. The company's relationships with studios reinforced this advantage. Through revenue-sharing agreements, Blockbuster reduced upfront inventory costs while ensuring shelves were stocked with new releases. Availability became reliability, and reliability became dominance. Smaller competitors struggled to match this scale. Late fees were not an accident or an afterthought. They were a structural component of the system. Inventory turnover was critical in a physical rental model, and late fees enforced behavior while generating predictable revenue. The system converted customer non-compliance into income, reinforcing both efficiency and control. Internally, success was measured by metrics aligned with this structure: store performance, transaction volume, inventory turnover, and regional expansion. Decision-making favored replication of what already worked. The system rewarded scale, predictability, and operational discipline. It discouraged deviation. For years, the model delivered exactly what it was designed to deliver. While the system was being refined, the environment around it began to shift. Distribution costs declined, storage became cheap, bandwidth increased. Movies began to transition from physical objects into digital files. This transformation was gradual, and critically, it did not immediately disrupt Blockbuster's revenue. Stores remained busy. Cash flow remained strong. From inside the system, nothing appeared broken. That stability masked the underlying problem. New distribution models did not register as viable within Blockbuster's existing logic. Digital delivery eliminated inventory constraints. Subscription models removed late fees. Both undermined the mechanisms that made the store network profitable. Adopting them fully would have required dismantling the structures that defined Blockbuster's success. The company experimented at the margins. It tested alternatives, but every experiment was evaluated against metrics designed for a different world. Digital initiatives appeared inefficient, lower margin, and strategically disruptive. Not because they lacked potential, but because they did not align with what the system was built to optimize. Incentives reinforced this rigidity. Compensation structures rewarded store performance. Leadership evaluation depended on short-term financial results. The organization was not irrational, it was consistent. It continued to improve what already worked because that was what the system encouraged. Adaptation would have required accepting short-term losses, abandoning profitable infrastructure, and redefining success itself. As long as the existing model generated revenue, those costs appeared unjustifiable. By the time the shift became undeniable, the system was locked in. Competitors designed around digital distribution had no legacy structures to unwind. They did not need to protect physical assets or reconcile new models with old incentives. Their systems matched the environment from the beginning. Blockbuster's collapse is often framed as a failure to see the future. That framing is misleading. The company saw change, but it interpreted it through a system optimized for a past reality. The failure was structural. Blockbuster did not collapse because it stopped working. It collapsed because it kept working too well in a world that no longer required what it was built to provide. Every component of the system, the stores, the pricing mechanisms, the partnerships, the metrics, made sense in isolation. Together, they created rigidity. This pattern extends beyond Blockbuster. Organizations become what they optimize for. Over time, success hardens into structure, and structure limits perception. When the environment shifts, survival requires dismantling what once defined strength. Blockbuster's system did exactly what it was designed to do. It just turned out that what it was designed to do was no longer what the world needed.